All right, everybody, welcome back in to another edition of Keeping Up with Boaz Athletics. I'm here with Coach Witt. And, Coach, who do you bring with you today?
Got Ja'Kai Hudgens. He's one of our seniors this year. One of our studs. He's got to be good for us to be good, so we've got him with us today.
Coach, we watched him perform in football, and he was absolutely a problem for defensive coordinators. But he seems to be the same thing on the basketball court. Can you speak on this young man a little bit and how impactful he is for your basketball team?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we go as he goes. So he's going to have to be the primary scorer for us. He's our leading rebounder at the moment too. I mean, he's going to guard the other team's best player a lot of the times. He's at the front of our press. So he wears a lot of hats for us, and he wears them well. So he's a huge part of our team.
When you hear Coach speak about you in those kind of terms, and Coach Sully did the same thing in football, how does that make you feel personally?
Makes me feel really good, and both of them do a really good job in helping me get this confidence to where I can be a big role player for us in both sports.
When you hear Coach talk about wearing so many different hats, defensively, offensively, on the press, handling the press, scoring, rebounding, you got to do a lot of things. Do you welcome that challenge, or do you feel a bit of pressure about that, or how is your mindset when you hear those things?
No pressure at all, really. I mean, I feel very happy that he wants me to take on that role, and I feel like it's a challenge for me, and I love having a challenge. I don't want it easy.
I like it. Coach, that's how you want your players. You want that players not to shy away from that role, not to shy away from the competition or carrying those kind of burdens. Talk about that a little bit and how special it is to have a young man. And I'm not taking shots at this generation, but you don't always have that with a modern day player.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we want to play in big games, and if you're going to play in big games, your best players have got to want the ball in their hands. They want to take on the primary role. So if you're going to play in the important games that at the end of the season, the ones that really matter, you've got to have those guys that are confident enough and have leaned into that role enough to get you there and succeed when you're in that moment.
Coach, you've had some ups and downs this season. We've talked about some of them. You rolled over into area play now. Talk about the season from the last time we was on till now.
Yeah, so last time we talked, we had last week we were playing, we had Albertville on Tuesday, which was a tough game for us. Albertville's 7A, we're 5A. They're a lot bigger than us, a lot more athletic than we are. So that was a tough game for us, but I think we learned a little bit about ourselves in that game, which is, if we can just take that and we can improve on it, then even if you get kicked in the teeth sometimes, you can get something out of it. So we took that game, and then Thursday we went to West Point, played a really good West Point team. It was a great game for us. We lost by 4, but we were really encouraged coming out of that game because up to that point we had been able to get shots against everybody that we had played, just had not been able to make shots. And in that game we finally got it going offensively a little bit. We made 13 threes in that game. So even though we lost the game, I thought we competed really well. We did a lot of good things offensively, competed defensively. So great game for us, great one for us to build off of. Then we had a quick turn. We had first area game against Crossville on Friday. Made 13 threes again in that game. So finally, it seemed like we were getting going offensively some. We won that one. So it's always good to start 1-0 in the area. And then last night we went to Douglas. Another area game for us. We lost by 8. Kind of regressed back to where we were. We thought we got every shot that we wanted, and then we just couldn't put it in the basket from 3, especially. It's just how it goes sometimes. Douglas is a hard place to play. They always play really hard, really good defensive matchup for us. So disappointing to lose, but I told my guys after the game I was encouraged going forward just because we had played them last year at Douglas and just felt like we couldn't even operate in the game. They were very physical with us. Didn't think that we could get any looks offensively, and then last night we were able to get looks. We just didn't make the looks, which is, it's going to happen sometimes. You're not going to make them night in and night out, especially in high school basketball. So that's how it goes. But I'm encouraged with where we're at, just the way we were able to execute. Press was really good for us last night. So I think we've got an idea of what we can do to win that game moving forward. We just got to put the ball in the basket. So that's going to be our focus the next few days.
Same question for you from a player standpoint. You're out there on the floor, you're in the huddles and things like that. What's it look like from your perspective?
So like Coach said, we kind of started off slow, obviously getting the ball in the rim, but we kept working at it, and those last 2 games, West Point and Crossville, kind of gave us a good boost of confidence. I feel like that's mainly been the problem, because in practice we're shooting it good and stuff, and we get in games and it's almost like we struggle, but those 2 games really got us going. And just like you said, at Douglas, always a hard place to play, the environment, and it kind of being a rivalry game. It's always tough, big area game and everything. But I feel like just because one game we kind of struggled, I feel like we're going to build off of that. And Friday, at Sardis, we're going to get back in the flow of things and see what the outcome is.
Yeah, you guys are in a unique situation here because you got so many good teams right here around you. You know, we've talked about that, but you know, Douglas right down the road, rivalry, Sardis right down the road. I mean, as the crow flies, less than like 5-10 miles each one of them each way. Talk about that a little bit, Coach, and how you don't have to go in here and slam stuff and throw stuff around to get people fired up. When those names come across, they're ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we've got a great North Alabama at the moment. Is just really good basketball all around. You know, Marshall County, I think we've got a lot of competitive teams in the county. You got Sardis right down the road, Nettowal County. They're 5 minutes down the road for us. So always going to be a fun environment. Always going to be fun matchups. So you know that makes it exciting. It's what high school basketball is about. You know, to get to play those schools. We're lucky enough to. The 3 teams in our area are no more than 20 minutes away from us, Crossville being the furthest away. So it makes for a fun environment, makes it fun for these guys, makes it fun for coaches because we all kind of know each other and have been around one another. So, you know, that's what it's about. It's what it's about for these guys.
You've grew up knowing some of those guys and competing against them your whole life. Talk about what it's like playing in those games.
How can I say this? I almost feel like I feel used to it because I'm used to playing these guys. I've been playing some of them Douglas guys since, because you know I came from Albertville before I even played in my Albertville, so it's like I've known them pretty much my whole life, and you know it's like I feel used to playing with them. At the same time, it always feels different going to a different game. I can never expect the same thing from them, but yeah, it's a great environment with all the fans and everything. It's definitely something you dream of playing in.
Being able to battle those guys has to be special, but it means a little bit more when it's area. Let's rewind the clock to the day y'all hit the 13 threes against Crossville. What do you think it was personally that got y'all kind of in that groove where the ball was going in the basket?
I feel like it's kind of us playing fast and then also bench energy, and Coach here helping us get that confidence in our mind. He always tells us when we shoot it, know it's going in, don't have any doubt in the back of your mind. I feel like that's a big part of it, and just like even last night we couldn't really get it going. I feel like he's still going to keep putting that confidence in our mind, and then we're going to bounce back from that.
Coach, when you have games like last night where you said, you know, you struggled a little bit and it wasn't going in, how do you approach that as a coach? Because I know different coaches do, some do the sugar cube, some do the cane. It's just different. How about yourself there?
You know, I think, like you said, you know, shooting's for the most part, it's going to be a confidence deal. So if I'm beating them down just because they're missing shots, then it's going to make it worse. So as long as we're getting good looks, you know, I'm just going to have to live with the result. You know, as long as these guys I tell them, I can't get them enough shots in practice itself for them to be great shooters. They're going to have to put some time in on their own. So we kind of try to beat that into their heads. We know we have coaches on staff, myself included, that are willing and able to get here early in the morning, stay with them late after, whatever we need to do to be able to shoot it effectively. But yeah, it's got to be a lot more sugar, I think, shooting the ball. You know, you've got to keep them confident. If you're beating them down for missing shots, I think that's just going to hurt you in the long run.
Coach, you grew up in an era just after my era. When I was in school in the late 90s, early 2000s there, that was back to the basket, a lot of physicality. You take a team like Litchfield back in the day, they were ahead of the curve.
Right.
What Litchfield was doing then is what everybody's doing now, which is, you know, open court concept, you know, trapping, things like that, putting a lot of pressure on the basketball. What is it about this modern game? You know, you mentioned it, it's what shots are you taking, but what are some of the things you like about the modern game, and then what are some of the things you liked about the old school game?
You know, old school game is just, there's a grit and toughness to it that sometimes is not prevalent in today's game. The modern game, though, I just love the speed of it. You get to play, when you play that fast and the style that we would like to play, it allows you to play more guys. So, I mean, you can get deeper into your bench, play 8, 9, 10 guys instead of, you know, old school, you may play 5, 6, 7 guys. So just an opportunity for more guys to get in the game, more guys to contribute. When you play at that speed, I think you're going to get easier looks when you get other teams playing at a tempo that they're not used to playing. I think it fits who our team is at this point. I think being able to play fast, get up and down a little bit more, create opportunities off the bounce, and then draw help and kick it out. And I think that will help get us some more open looks, you know, just playing at that speed, getting spotted up in transition, looking for opportunities in that way.
You're a tremendous athlete yourself. You grew up in this era, this open court concept, the shooting the threes, running the floor. What's it like when you guys are rolling here at Boaz and the threes are going in, you're getting steals and turnovers? Talk about that and how fun the game is.
It's just, there's nothing that beats it, honestly. Yeah. It's like we always build off of each other, and that us succeeding like that is always just creating a fun environment to be in, and especially going out there with your guys, that's your family. So keep building each other up, and it's like no other field on the earth. You can't ask for anything better, honestly.
Well, Coach's pedigree, being around Coach Coker and Plainview and the state championships and things like that, how much of that stuff did you guys kind of admire as a team when he comes in here and tells you something, you better know that it's real? Talk about that a little bit, and knowing that he's been to some places you guys are wanting to go.
It's just I feel like we're very fortunate because we know we have someone on staff. Oh, on staff, he's our main guy that can
That's awesome.
Things like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, we really admire that about him, and we know that whenever he tells us something, we know you just know he knows what he's doing, and we feel like we can really build off of that. And just anytime he tells us something, we have no doubt in our mind because we know that he's very experienced and he seems very wise to us.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Now, how much do you still do reach out to Robbie some, I'm sure, but how much do you get to lean on the things that you learned during those times? Because you've seen it all up there. You've seen every kind of team you could possibly play from all over the state. Talk about that, how much you get to lean on things that you've done in the past.
Yeah, obviously you want to learn from the best and steal from the best. So a lot of mainly the stuff that I got from Robbie was just preparation-wise, like the way we go through our scout. Some scheme stuff, especially defensively, we do a lot of the same things. But you can't be a carbon copy, because if I try to come in here and be Robbie Coker with a completely different team, completely different personality, it's not going to work. So you've just got to kind of steal from everywhere. But it's obviously something that you want to use, and I think the way he does things, particularly preparation-wise for us, the way we go through our scout, the way we study film, things like that, the way we prepare for in-game situations, I think that has really helped me as a coach, especially going into being a first-year coach. Just seeing that attention to detail that he had has been something that has really helped me getting into this experience for the first time of being a head coach.
No doubt. Before we let you guys out of here, just a couple more questions, we'll let you go. From your standpoint, basketball is a tournament sport. Obviously, you want to host that area as the first and foremost probably goal you have next on the list. What do you think you got to do individually to help this team achieve that goal?
Just like Coach Witt said, for us to like really be successful, I feel like I really have to step up in all these aspects. So I feel like not only I can control my part, but also I got to be a confidence booster to my teammates. I can't be someone who is, if something doesn't go our way, I can't keep my head down. I got to be a leader, especially as having a younger team. I got to keep my head up and keep moving, keep encouraging my guys to keep playing. And if they do that, then I can also play off of that, and I don't have to worry about myself as much.
No doubt. And the coach, you can't obviously execute on the floor for the guys, but from a coach's standpoint, crossing T's, dotting I's, what do you got to get done to make that happen as well?
Yeah, like we said, we just got to continue. We got to get shots up in practice. We got to keep focusing on scheme, how we're doing things, keep adding to, creating new ways to get guys looks, maybe tweak some ways in which we're getting looks for guys currently right now. Find new looks to get for players that have been getting looks. You just got to play with it until something clicks, and it hadn't clicked yet fully. So we've just got to stay at it. I think I like our chances in the area, in our region, whatever, with the teams that we play, the rest of our schedule. I think we're in the games with those guys. We've just got to find ways to take that extra step to outlast them at the end, have more points at the end of the game. But I'm encouraged. We're sitting at 4-6 right now. It's not a great record, but outside of the Albertville game, we've been in every single one. So, it could go either way. I'm encouraged for where the season can go. So we just got to stay with it, keep these guys positive, and then I think that we've still got things lined up to where we can have a pretty good season.
Well, guys, I appreciate y'all sitting in. We're going to get this taken care of, posted today. I'm going to handle that. And look, we'll be back here each and every week with another episode. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.